Third. All right. Hey, it's Alisha Rayne here at the workshop, and I'm having such a good time because we have three really great comedians. They're going to do some awesome material based on some great subjects that we gave them. So basically, the way it works here at the workshop is everyone got a subject ahead of time, and then they're going to do 3 minutes on that subject, 3 to 5, however long. And then after that, we're going to give them some feedback. And then we're going to go around robin again and do our own material that we would normally perform, and we would give them feedback. So, yeah, and again, I'm Alisha Rayne, and we're going to start with Chase Bonin.
Yay, yes, correct.
All right, here we go, Chase. Let's hear it.
All right. So I had the word vegetation. And vegetation is everywhere. You know, like there's cacti in deserts. Here in Louisiana, we have moss and kale is found in Whole Foods. So, and the people who study these plants are called botanists. And before researching that, I thought botanists worshipped robots. So that's what I know. But and they say that you have a green thumb if you're a good gardener, but you have a brown thumb if you're a bad gardener, but a great lover. And they say Oregon State has the most vegans per capita. And I thought about moving there, but I didn't want to be in a vegetative state. Thank you. Also, I've been listening to a lot of bands based of vegetation, like the Cranberries, Bush, Gin Blossom, Screaming Trees, even Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. Like, I'm a meat eater, but my ears are on a plant-based diet. And thank you again. And this really fucked with my head because, like, if you plant yourself, you stay still, but you're using the word plant as a verb, and a verb is meant to describe something that's an action. So, like in this case, you're describing the action of no action, and that's fucked up. And that's all I had. Thank you.
Wow, great stuff, Chase. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool. All right. All right, very cool. Yeah, I really like some punnage you had there. Vegetative state. Very cool. The musician thing, that's really awesome. I think my only real note is you're like, green thumb. And then brown thumb, like if you're a good lover, I get it. But I think there could be one more color in there. A red thumb is like a once a month kind of thing or something like that. So.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go into a different room where there's better internet. So, who else?
Yeah, we're going on a trip. Woo!
Yeah, Joshua, do you have any response?
I love the ear. I will say the meat eater, but my ears.
Yeah.
I would say on that though, I would narrow down the list because like I hit like on like the first like two, like the cranberries and like maybe like meatloaf. I say
okay, like,
because after like the third, like the guy for Rob Zombie I can't even remember them all.
Yeah. See, that was actually a discussion I had with a buddy of mine earlier because I had a very short list, and then I started naming off all these bands, and I was like, I'm just gonna fucking name all of them. Just to see which ones stick. So
yeah,
but that's good to know. Shorten it down and get to the punch faster. Yeah. That makes sense.
Well, and I think you could actually go the other way where you're like, and I hate, and my ears hate meat-based bands like Meatloaf and.
Oh,
yeah.
great, yes. Yeah. I got vegan ears.
You do got vegan ears.
Yeah.
Vegan ears.
All right. That's a good one. Meatloaf, meat puppets. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah.
Pleased to meet you. No, I don't know. Your laugh is amazing. Thank you.
All right, Alia, do you have any response? Any, additions to Chase's set?
Of more meat bands?
Meat one.
No, I don't.
All right.
It was just
That's
all good.
Thank you. All right.
I think Chase has no shortage of
I don't know. I
meat
was just
bands.
thinking about the word meat and meat bands and meat loaf, and then that song going, I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. And everyone's like, anal. It's probably anal.
All right.
All right. Brown thumb, way to be. Okay, so very
There we
cool.
go.
So we're gonna go ahead and all right. Well, Chase, you're coming in strong. Really awesome. And now we have Joshua Lynch. He's gonna take us away with some really cool facts and jokes about
Strokes.
Yep,
I had strokes. And one
strokes
time,
for different folks.
one time at work, everybody thought I was having a stroke. I mean, people were freaking out. I ain't going to the hospital. And they finally grabbed me and said, get your ass in the fucking truck and go. So get to the hospital. Ends up, no, I wasn't having a stroke. I actually got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So, but in their defense, my eye did roll back into the back of my head. It was just like, fuck, today I'm out. But then when I got in and the nurse and the doctor came in to look at it, she came and looked at my chart and then just stared at me and went, I need to go get my med students because we've never seen this before.
Oh, no.
Like, fuck yeah, doc, bring them in to see the freak show. I really should have charged them, though, $5 for their education.
All right.
But then, you know, I love that laugh. So the next is there's another part, an issue with the MS, is you get it where your dick don't work. So let's just say my little soldier is MIA. It's probably in North Korea. But we've tried it all. I mean, I tried Viagra, Cialis, pumps, slamming it in the car door. Nothing worked until one solution. Dickroids. So, yes, I have a clear little vial I got to take out of my freezer, go get my heroin needles, fill it up, and then boom, stab the dick. But it has its benefits. It turns my Tic Tac into a Maglite, and it makes it like the Energizer Bunny. I mean, it just keeps going and going. I mean, I get a lot of my strokes in because It went so long that I had to go to the ER with an erection lasting over 4 hours. So, like, women, I understand when you don't get yours now, and it effing sucks. Then, so in high school, I was a swimmer. Yes, even I was this weight in high school.
Women.
I had to pre-install life vest. So, but we wanted to screw with this other Texas town swim team. They came in, they were the douchebag cowboys. So I got white cowboy boots, bedazzled cowboy hat. I had my swim goggles on, and then we got me my white Speedo that said cowboy on the back, and I'm now walking up to the blocks just like rhinestone cowboy. And then both the other two country boys, one's mouth just drops open, the other dies laughing. But we get up to the blocks. They send off the alarm. He jumps. I tripped and just go boom right on top of him. And we swim over to the side and we get out. And I just look at him. I'm just like, Shamu, bitch. So, and see, I was doing swimming strokes then. That was that's what I got. But
all right, very cool. Thank you so much. That was powerful stuff. Good stuff there. Yeah. Wow. The whole thing really flowed well together. You couldn't tell that you were basing it around a subject, so I think that was like just a really sign of really great writing. I would say the only thing is like, maybe just add a couple of like little details to like the charging for the freak show kind of thing. You can just maybe just add a couple of details onto that, like third arm or, something,
that actually,
like that.
Because I've been in a medical journal before too. So
nice.
They maybe do see me as a freak. But now the freak gets paid. So
there you go. There you go. So yeah, and I love what was it, Shamu?
Yeah, Shamu, bitch.
Yeah. Oh, that's too funny to me.
That I need to add though, that I forgot to say at the beginning, is during the beginning of every meet, they actually draw Shamu on my back in marker, and we write Shamu. So Shamu came up to the block.
So it
yeah,
really comes full circle. So. Yeah, I like that. Good storytelling there. Chase, do you have any response?
Yeah, I thought the freak show part was really good. I agree with everything Alisha said about that, but you can really expand on that. But that was very funny. The when you were talking about having to shoot steroids into your dick,
yeah,
that I think there's something you can play with the irony of you having to stick something in your dick rather than sticking your dick in something to get it hard. That's something you can play with. And then when you were describing what you looked like to fuck with the other team, like with your rhinestone hat and all that stuff, you could just throw in a tag like, I'm over here looking like Lil Nas X at the swim meet or something like that. That was all I had. Yeah.
See, I'm not good at current pop.
I'm not either, but my daughter listens to Lil Nas X all the time. So
I mean, you could even go like older too, like apple bottom jeans and the boots with the spurs, something like that. rhinestone,
Just something, something to throw a little bit of funny in there. Yeah,
a little bit of funk.
Yeah.
So yeah, very good. Alia, you have any response?
Well, when you were singing about the boots with the fur, I was like, I want to be a cowboy, rhinestone cowboy.
I should have sang it. Yeah.
I thought the whole thing was very entertaining and hilarious, and I haven't laughed that much in a very long time. And I was thinking about Cialis, and it was just like, Cialis is the worst medicine ever, because I had a boyfriend with ED, and I was like, just get Viagra, and he wouldn't listen, and he got Cialis, and then he had a boner for 3 days, and I'm like, I just need a good 30 minutes. Get that shit away from me.
That's so fucking funny.
Funny to you all, not funny what actually happened.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh wow.
Not a good home defense weapon for 4 hours, though.
I remember when it first came out and people were making jokes about it, and they're like, 4 hours with an erection, I don't see the problem. Well, I sure do.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, this is silly, but like some sort of Harry Palms reference. Just doing it so much kind of deal. Yeah, so awesome.
It
really
got
good.
really awkward out of the blue.
It did. I was thinking, and then
it got sucked out of there. I'm like,
Harry Palms. Harry Palms is too far.
Yep, Harry Palms. And then just like a pregnant silence. Just, that's cool, Alicia. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. All right. Well, very good. Alia, are you ready with your subject?
Yeah. My subject is allowance. And I was just thinking about allowance. Like, there's 2 different kinds of allowances. There's like the allowance that little kids get from their parents, and there's like the allowance that sugar babies get from their sugar daddies. And then I started thinking about like the word allowance and how it came to be. And I was like, all I could think of was like having an allowance allows you to buy things, so if you don't have an allowance, I don't know, I couldn't really do much with it, to be perfectly honest. I was just like, allowance, let's just do that. That's all I could think of. And then I thought about, Facebook targeted ads, and then they have all these new credit cards, and they have this credit card that's yellow and red, and it says Sugar Daddy, and it's the same font as the candy, and people are like, oh, I didn't think they figured out their marketing strategy very well. And then someone else was like, oh, well, I think their market strategy spot on. It got everyone talking, didn't it? And I was like, okay, that's not really funny, but it's a pandemic right now. Who couldn't use a sugar daddy right now? like people are such haters, man. You're just mad that you're not some Barbie doll that's pretty enough to get a guy to pay for all your shit. Well, all you got to do is sit around and look pretty. I mean, haters gonna hate. Barbie doll's gonna get paid, right? Get paid. Get paid. Get money. That's what I'm saying. Don't allow this. I got my allowance, bitch. What do you got? You're just sitting on Facebook whining while I'm just, like Scrooge McDuck swimming around in my gold coins. Yeah, it's not true, but it's true in my imagination. I was like, they're writing this story, like memes. Like, everyone's always pissed off about something. But there was this meme that I could really relate to, and it was like dot 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 dot, and then they'll all be sorry. And I'm like, yeah, that's my story. And then they'll all be sorry. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have. Well, one more thing. One more thing. It was just like circling back. That's like something that's really hip now to hate. Like, oh, I hate how people say, let's circle back. I think it's cute because it reminds me of the Oregon Trail and circling your wagons. And who didn't like that game? They're like, the pandemic taught me something. I'm married to one of those let's circle back people. Oh, how awful. I mean, he's not like an alcoholic or a drug addict or has a rap sheet. He just says, let's circle back. Oh, perish the thought. Fuck y'all people. You got it made and all you're doing is whining. Get a job. Shut the fuck up. Get out of my face. It's like, oh, and if you're bad, I'm taking away your allowance. I'm like, oh, you mean my $5 a month that I have to clean the entire house for? Keep that shit. Thank you. That's my time.
Thank you. Very cool. All right. Awesome. Alia, thank you so much. Really good stuff there. My main thing is like, you were like Scrooge McDuck, like, swimming through the money. I just really wanted to hear DuckTales, woo, like afterwards. I just think that like a good reference.
Speaking of DuckTales, one year my little brother, it was his birthday, and he was a little bitty kid. I don't remember how old he was. And he's like blowing out his candles, and he says out loud, I wish that DuckTales were real. And I picked on him incessantly about it.
Oh. It's a good wish.
It's cute.
Yeah.
Yep. I really, I kind of liked how you went off on a couple of tangents, and there was some funny lines in there. So I definitely like your style of comedy. There was some really good stuff in there. So yeah, Chase, do you have any response?
Honestly, yeah, there was a kind of a lot going on, but it was really funny. And I was actually just surprised you mentioned Oregon Trail without talking about dysentery. But yeah, I don't really have any feedback, but I thought it was really funny. You got good laughs out of me, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh, do you have any response?
Yeah. One just when you were talking about like the Facebook ad for the credit card, a angle you could have gone, because what they do have now actually is credit cards for your kids for their allowance. So you can deposit it in and it'd be like, who in the hell wants to have to Venmo their kid? So I feel like there's something.
I wouldn't be giving. And that would be creepy to give your kids a credit card that says "Sugar Baby."
Oh god, that would be
like, yeah, that's the whole point of the joke. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Or are you training them early? Yeah. Hell, if you give it to your 10-year-old already, that's what she's going to be used to. Training the sugar babies. Oh, what were those called? Not sugar babies. What's like they're once smaller.
Oh, Josh Rose. What's going on here?
Let's move. But I don't know.
What's going on?
Yeah.
There's some kind of connection problem.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there it goes. It unfroze.
Okay.
Should we all stay still and just?
You know, that's what kids do at school. I'd like to picture up, but I'm just staying still, teacher.
Yeah.
All that stuff. I couldn't be like an online teacher. I couldn't be a teacher in general, but I think online would be tough too. Like this is, where.
Hey, you remember like in the 80s when puff paint was all the rage? Like everybody would wear t-shirts with puff paint. Well, I gained a lot of weight, so my mom gave me her puff paint, sweatpants and sweatshirt, and it was black and it had like a Christmas motif and it had the gold puff paint. And I was in school and I went to pay for my lunch and they were like $3.49. And this was years ago. And I'm like, why is it so expensive? And they're like, you're a teacher, aren't you? And I was like, oh my God. If someone says your fashion is like a teacher, that is not a compliment. Like those wooden necklaces that have apples on them. Don't wear that.
Yeah, like the little, like
it's like an apple with a caterpillar coming out of it, and it's got a schoolhouse and a pencil with an eraser on it. Like, okay, we get it. You're an educator.
There's like
Educate yourself on the proper fashion, okay?
There's like a lighter colored turtleneck to like kind of offset the sweatshirt.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
The jean jumper? The jean jumper. It was always a jean jumper with a turtleneck, wasn't it? And hair up in a bun.
All right.
With your Miss Bliss looking self.
Yeah.
Oh. Good morning, Miss Bliss.
Yep.
Rip Screech.
Oh, wow. Pre-Saved by the Bell. We are taking it way back.
God, how old are we? This is terrible.
Oh, yeah. Justin Diamond died recently.
Yeah.
That was sad.
He did. I heard he was a jerk for a while, but then I heard other people met him, after his jerky phase, and they said he was really nice. So, moment of silence for Screech, All right, that's long enough. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do my set real quick, and then we'll...
That's long enough. Hashtag fuck that guy.
Hashtag Screech forever. Okay, so I'm going to do my set real quick. We're all stuck inside, quarantine. They say that there's going to be like a baby boom during this quarantine. And I don't agree with that. I feel like there's going to be a lot of quarantine arguments. Probably a lot of quarantine divorces. And definitely some quarantine crimes of passion. Yep. And definitely some quarantine crimes of passion for sure. But I think it's really post-quarantine is when everybody's going to go nuts. Like once everybody has the vaccine and we're kind of like eased up, people are going to go crazy. Like condoms are going to be sold out for months. Like you thought the toilet paper was crazy. Condoms are going to be gone. Like all the Plan Bs are going to be bought out mostly by me. Yeah. And instead of testing for COVID, people will be getting tested for STDs. So yeah. I find it kind of awkward, like seeing people out of their natural habitat. Like if you run into somebody from your work, like at the grocery store. I did that. That happened recently. My coworker, I saw him and I saw in his cart that he had like 4 different types of boxed wine. And I was like, wow, he's a sommelier of crappy Merlots. Just space bags. For
Very
days.
euphemistic way of saying alcoholic.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. And and he saw me with all of the Plan B. So we both found out something about each other that day. That my coworker is single and an alcoholic, and he found out that I was a cheater. So there we go. Another awkward place to find somebody out of their natural habitat is while stripping. Yeah, can you imagine like trying to hustle a lap dance and then you see your Spanish professor? Yeah.
Ay, Dios mío.
It was awkward, but I did get an A in that class. So I am just kidding. That was a summer job. So they have they have like things are walk of shame. Like the next day you have to do a walk of shame. But there's all types of public transportation, so you can do like the subway passenger of shame or like the bike ride of shame or like a scooter of shame kind of thing. I mean, those are still going on, scooters, right? Can you imagine like having to like ride a scooter in like a sequenced mini dress, like 8 o'clock in the morning? It'd be kind of bad. Regrets. That was my subject. I don't think I said it up top. But anyway, I'm Alisha Rayne, so that's my subject. So yay!
That was awesome.
It's over.
Very good.
So yeah. So Chase, do you have any feedback?
Let's see. I thought the first joke was really good with the crimes of passions and everything. But I put down here for hang on, I can't read my handwriting. Oh, they're so once everybody gets like the COVID vaccine, they're going to go crazy, and then instead of testing for COVID, they'll be testing for STDs. Thought you could put something like the clap is the new pandemic or something like that.
We can't.
And I wanted to hear some tasting notes of a shitty wine sommelier. Like, well, like,
a
this
back
one,
palette of
yeah,
toilet wine.
Exactly. Like I'm getting notes of hobo farts and whatever. I don't know. I thought that would be fun to kind of go into that, and then I just kept picturing. I thought the last one was great, like the walk of shame, but there's other kinds of shame mobilizations you can do. And I just kept in my head, I kept picturing somebody like stumbling with one of those scooters, because the ones they have like in Austin, you have to swipe a card to get them to go. Like you can Uber some, but some of them you have to actually swipe your credit card, and then like fumbling around. I don't know. That was a great joke, and that's in my head. I just put swiping your card to get the scooter to work. I don't know. But anyway, that was good. Good stuff.
Good. Awesome. Very cool. Joshua, do you have any notes?
On the kind of feeding more on like the wine, giving the notes to it, I would say instead of like smelling it, you got to stick a finger in and smell the finger.
I will write that note down.
And then instead of
it's a box wine for sure.
the brown thumb.
Yeah. All right, very cool. I have some great notes. Alia, you got any notes for me?
I just thought it was really funny when you were talking about all the different walks of shame, and it reminded me of how, like, right after the Me Too movement, everybody started being like super duper pro slut, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to tolerate the walk of shame anymore. We're going to grab our high-heeled shoes. We're going to walk around the neighborhood, and we're going to change our walk of shame until the stride of pride. And I'm like, okay, yeah, be proud of what a whore you are. Hashtag no judgment. Hashtag go to my third abortion, y'all.
Dude, I'm just imagining like trying to ride one of those scooters with like crazy high heels. Like, that would just be too much.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was picturing in my head the whole time.
They have them, the high heels
I
hanging
was like,
high heels
like
blowing.
a neon spandex halter top mini like prostitute outfit.
If you're gonna
Very
do,
Julia Roberts. Very Julia Roberts.
Yeah, like ending that stride of pride. Who am I kidding? I'm ashamed of myself. I can't believe it. I shouldn't have had that second martini.
Josh, were you gonna say something?
oh, I was gonna say, I can't remember now. No.
Okay. All right. Well, as long as we're all having a good time, I feel like we all were. So first round, really good. Great. So now we're gonna do our second round, and that's our own material. And then at the end, I'm just gonna ask you guys at the end of your own set, like after we've given the review, I'll just ask you to say, hey, where should we follow you? And then we'll move on to the next person. So we'll give all our socials at the end of each set. So, all right, Chase.
Yay.
You are first. 1 second.
Are these 5-minute sets?
It's 3 to 5 minutes. Honestly, it's however much you brought. Just 5 minutes and under.
All right.
All right, Chase.
All right, this is an old story I'm trying to kind of bring back. So trying to remember it as well as add new stuff. So I used to play music, and I was in a band. We were playing out in Houston one time, and we're out behind the club that we were playing at, and it's like this kind of weird neighborhood area with like there's the club behind the club's like a neighborhood with stop signs and houses and stuff. And as we're out there, this lady, she's like drunk, falling down drunk, as she approaches us. She's like, just walks up. She goes, "Hey, are you guys in a band? Because I fucking love Nirvana." It's like, okay. So it's like, are you sure you don't mean you love Asleep at the Wheel? Because I'm pretty sure that's where you're headed. But then after that, it gets even weirder. Because one of the houses was having like a little house party down on the corner of the street. And so we're out there, we could kind of hear and see the party going on, but then we notice this car starts like creeping by. And as the car is creeping by, they slow down. And the next thing you know, they start shooting at the house like it's a fucking drive-by. And we're like, yeah. We don't know what to do, so we all just freeze.
Yeah.
Just watch the drive-by happen. We're not smart enough to actually get out of the way. And the car just like creeps in front of us. Yeah. The car creeps in front of us, and the guns are still hanging out the windows. And we're like, oh shit, here it comes. But they don't shoot us. What they do is they get to the stop sign, turn on their blinker, and they take a left. And I'm like, did I just watch fucking Scarface turn into Steve from Blue's Clues? Like, how are you following rules now? You know? But it was like a really scary experience, and I couldn't believe my eyes that I actually witnessed someone use a blinker. So, and that's what I'm trying to work on. Thank you.
All right, I have a question for you. the using your blinker thing, is that a known thing in where you live?
That's just, I mean, that's a thing where, yeah, I don't know. Nobody uses their blinker.
Okay. I mean, it's a silly question, like a California stop, like
Yeah,
it's
like
known for that.
Yeah.
So. All right, silly question. Intense story.
Very true story too, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
The lady at the beginning, you were like asleep at the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Nirvana song?
No, but that is an actual band. But
Okay.
yeah, they're like an old 70s like country band.
Okay.
But throwing a Nirvana lyric in there might actually be a good idea if I can find something.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like a song.
Yeah.
You're more like Butthole Surfers, whatever song, like I
Yeah.
think
Okay.
that might I mean, or the band Asleep at the Wheel, just some sort of little reference.
Yeah.
Little beginning part, but yeah. Any other responses? Joshua, you got any?
I would go a little bit more into the Scarface to like Steve at Blue's Clues.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what, but add something about like Blue's Clues, like the mailbox or getting mail or even something Blue did. Because I think if you get that one more, especially because like that hits that, I feel like that nostalgia thing. As soon as you said Steve from Blue's Clues, that name alone got me.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my big one. The rest was, that was a nice story.
Thank you.
I'm getting like, also it's just like you all like stared at a ghost, or it's just like, oh no, y'all froze there because it's just like you just saw grandma's titties.
Oh yeah. Okay. I see.
I just got something like that. Yeah.
I think a couple other, references to like, you just, murder somebody and then you put on your blinker. You just rob a bank and you, go to a full stop in California or, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Some other traffic following.
Yeah.
Thing. So, Alia, you got any responses?
Well, I'm in agreement with what everyone else said. When I was talking about the shooting, though, I wanted to hear like more punchline and more of the story, like y'all are saying. Like, yeah, we just froze, and then they turn, and I'm like y'all said, oh, but we froze, like, a cat in a room full of rocking chairs, or just like go on a list of things that are scary, like deer in the headlights, this and that. So
okay, yeah.
Good. But not too many, because then it'll get boring. Maybe narrow it down to 3 things.
I usually tend to do the power of 12
or be like,
rather than the power
I'm
of 3.
as scared as someone who's unemployed looking at their bank account.
Yeah.
I also think just even like more the visual thing, like if you're, we were all like 3 big guys, all with beards, standing there, some other visual cue to be like, it was almost ridiculous that you were frozen. You're intimidating or whatever.
Actually, our drummer at the time was a cop, and he was the one who was the most fucking scared. So
yeah, like that's a good detail in there,
I think that would have been a good detail there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
he'd be like, that little scared ass pig.
Yeah, all right. Any other responses for Chase? All right. So Chase, do you have anything coming up or any socials you want us to follow you at?
I've just been kind of doing a little stuff here and there online like this. We haven't really opened much up around my town as far as live shows. So you can follow me. I'm always talking shit on Twitter and Facebook. Twitter is at CAB Funny. And Facebook is just Chase Bonin. I always say there's two of us because there's another Chase Bonin from Louisiana, and he's a dumbass. So don't follow that one. And I'm on Instagram too, but I don't do much on there. I'm too ugly for pictures. So, but C.A.BON. And if you are like a touring comic, when things kind of open back up more, I do book shows in my hometown of Louisiana. So hit me up. I could do a garage show, a bar show, or something like that. Super fun. Yeah.
Very cool. Who would have known how common a name Chase Bond is?
All right. Not even an hour away from me. What an asshole.
I know.
That's a small world.
Mhm.
All right. Very cool. Thank you, Chase. And now we're going to move on to Josh. I'm Joshua Lynch.
Yeah. So, first is, do you all know that there's levels to obesity? I didn't know that until the first time I get out of the hospital with the MS. On my chart, they write down level 4 obesity and then in parentheses, max. But I was 400 pounds. So I was like, damn, doc, do I get an award for beating all the other levels? Like maybe a Big Mac at each. But as you could see, I'm now not 400 pounds. So I've beat all the levels going the other way. So I went from the Michelin Man to the Pillsbury Doughboy. Woo! But I was a very gullible child. And one time when I was 5, we went to Hershey Park in Pennsylvania, but I was too short to ride any of the roller coasters. So we got back. My sister said, hey, I'll show you how the roller coaster feels. She threw me a helmet so we could be somewhat safe, but then got the rope and tied me down to my Red Rocket wagon and pushed me down the driveway. We have a big lip at the end of the driveway. I hit the lip and boom, bite almost all the way through my tongue. It's now just a flop in there. There's blood gushing everywhere. But I see these little girls that are watching me, and I wanted to go scare them, so I'm now chasing them down with my floppy tongue. And I learned at a young age then, girls don't like pink floppy things chasing them. But I don't think they like that chasing them either. So I got lucky when I was a baby. That's infectious. When I was a baby. Man, I just
Oh, yeah.
no.
All right.
Okay, I'll go. No, when I was a baby, I got to have Christmas Eve service at Camp David. But the George Bush wanted all the kids in the sanctuary. So my mom was worried my ass wouldn't shut up. So she just kept feeding me chocolate. I mean, I got to 400 pounds for a reason. So then Bush now is going around shaking everybody's hands, Merry Christmas. Gets to my mom, Merry Christmas, looks down at me, picks me up, and as soon as he turns me around, I exorcist vomited all over George, all over Barbara. I mean, I am the only baby to be held by the Secret Service. Talk about a foreign attack on the president. But I am bipartisan. I did puke on Hillary as well, so no judgment. That's what I got. Short.
Woo! All right, guys, we got a surprise guest. We're gonna add him to the stream. We got Andre.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah.
I just got a new phone and it's not good. So good. All right.
All right. Well, Andre, we're kind of in our last round, so we're gonna give Josh our response. Do you have like a prepared set that you want to do for us?
I prepared a set on the sweatshops prompt, or
Okay.
just like I wrote some jokes on that, and then I had like a second joke that I am working on.
Okay. So after we give Josh his response, we'll have you do a little set. It can be either one. So.
Okay. Cool. And
All
sorry,
right.
I thought this started at 10. My bad.
It's 10 Eastern.
I am an idiot.
All right, no problem. We're all getting used to it. So, Josh, awesome set, very cool. I like how you vomited on a president. That's cool.
Yeah. Like I say, I was special far before the MS.
I like a bipartisan vomit story just as much as the next person. So cool. That's too funny. Yeah, so that story is fantastic. I don't have any sort of response to that. And then I just think the other story on the hospital, like on the way down, like what levels on the way down, what prizes could you get for that? Like you were doing a cheeseburger on the way up, and then what could you do on the way down?
A kale smoothie.
Yeah.
Dude, we were on the same. It was crazy. Yeah, so something.
That's a good little. Yeah. It
Yep.
does tie that.
For sure. Chase, do you have any response?
Exactly. Actually, what you said about the different levels, and also I just want to say, how incredible is your life? Like it sounds like the saddest but the most amazing life anyone can have. Like you've been the fattest fat that anyone can be.
Yeah.
And then you've gotten better at that.
Oh,
You stroked out but really had some kind of freakish disease that put you in a medical journal and you were held by the Secret Service and puked on multiple politicians that people hold in high regard. That's amazing. How
I've also started a fight club, burned down my apartment, and had cops call me on a date. Those are my other big three. Yeah.
Wait,
Dude.
you don't just burn down one apartment. There's normally other ones attached. What happened?
yeah, how did you most people burn bridges, you're burning apartments. This is amazing.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And how old are you
29.
to accomplish all this? Dang. No, I don't know. That was a good set. You're onto something good there, but you have so much to talk about. I'm almost jealous.
Yeah. That's my problem right now is too much.
Some great storytelling for sure.
Yes.
Alia, do you have any response?
I thought the joke about foreign attack was hilarious, but my favorite part was him telling about how he hit the ground and his face was all busted up, and I just pictured him like in one of those American Horror stories where he's this monster with blood all over his face, and the girls are like, you know, typical all-American girls with little pigtails and bows in their hair, and they're all, ah, and he's all,
Army base kids. Yep. I'm chasing around the army base with my floppy, bloody tongue. That happened.
he's like, that'll learn you to make fun of me, little girl.
Gotta learn.
It was
yeah.
almost like It was almost like, those ghosts with the really weird mouths on Scooby-Doo. That's what I was picturing.
Oh my god! I think I'd take my mask off.
It was just a fantastic visual. And they're all like, Mommy! And they're like, Mommy can't save you now. That's all. It was awesome.
All right.
It's funny
Great
you
stuff.
say
Yeah.
though, real quick. On yours, we say chasing the girls there. I do have one where I chased my cousin and 6 other girls with a machete. So there is a whole thing with American Horror Story.
Golly.
Yeah.
You got to be careful you don't get those two confused. On the,
And you would have gotten away with all of it if it wasn't for you pesky kids.
That's right.
He is Old Man Withers. Okay. Very cool. All right, some great stories tonight, you guys. I like where we're going with this. So, we are going to go to Alia next with some fantastic stuff for sure. All right, Alia, take it away.
You missed that. You could follow me at
Have you ever been so broke you go to the bank and you ask for your balance and they whisper it to you? Why are we whispering? Ain't no shame. Okay, there's a little shame. Let's move on. So I've been single for a while now. Dating is hard. The last 3 guys I dated were rockers. The first guy I dated was a drummer. Thought I finally met someone cool. Turns out he just wanted to bang. Wow, that was some crickets up in here. The second guy was a bass player. Again, I thought I met someone cool. Turns out he just wanted to string me along. Third guy was on the autism spectrum. It's a little different kind of a rocker. Okay, a lot different.
Damn.
Son of a bitch.
The guy I dated after that was a personal trainer. I felt so good about myself when I broke up with him that I lost 165 pounds. At least that's what I think he weighed. So racism happens. Nobody likes that, except for racists. So I'm a multicultural person. I'm half Hispanic. I'm half Middle Eastern. So I've experienced a lot of racism in my life. So it got me to thinking, we have white power. We have black power. How come brown power never took off? I'll tell you why. Because brown people are too busy working to have hobbies. It's kind of hard to go to a parade or rally where every time a truck goes by, there go 8 of your friends. And isn't UPS a little racist? What has Brown done for you? Hasn't Brown done enough? So I had this friend who was kind of ignorant, but that's okay. I'm a really forgiving person. And he called me one day and he was super duper excited. And he's like, I just went to Taco Bell. It was awesome, but I'm craving a more unique, authentic Mexican experience. Can you help me out? I said, absolutely. Come to my house. Do exactly as I say. Don't ask any questions. So guess what I had him do, you guys? I had him hop my fence and do my yard work for $2.50 an hour. I think we both learned something that day. I finally figured out why when women wax down there, they call it a landing strip. It's because they're getting a lot more traffic than us natural women. Oh. I'm going to leave you guys with this. My mom says she thinks I walk like a brontosaurus. I think that's funny. Not because she thinks I walk like a dinosaur, but because she's so specific about what dinosaur she thinks I am. Besides, I totally walk like a T-Rex. What would a T-Rex say if it was around today? I'll tell you. Can someone give me a hand? Honey, Sally Gaucher, that's my time.
Woo. All right, Alia. Very cool. All right. Very good stuff. I like the rocker stuff, the band. I was laughing at the drummer joke. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just let you know.
This is good play on words and also, as a former musician, accurate.
One
Very
time I
cool.
said that joke at a bar, and this girl was looking at me, and she's like, "Don't say that joke. Don't say that joke." And I was like, "She must be dating this fuck." And I said the joke anyway, and she was just like, his favorite band was Tool, and boy, was he one.
Uh-huh.
His name Bob Keane. I think I know him.
I think that you can actually do like a couple other things with the bank teller. Whispering things or whatever, just a couple other little things like that.
Well, I used to talk about how, that I'm hearing impaired. So I didn't ask her to repeat it because whatever the number is, it's not going to be good. But that just made everyone deathly silent and feeling sorry for me. And I'm like, yeah, that's a little too self-deprecating. I'm going to cut that part out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like a hint of sadness.
Okay, I agree. Or yeah, your life is sad.
I like a hint of sadness. Like, I think it's funny, So I would have laughed at that joke, but you got to go with what the room says. So I understand. Chase, do you have anything?
Yeah. The bank teller joke. I wrote down like another way you can word it is have you been so broke that your bank is ashamed for you and they have to whisper your balance to you? And everything else is really good. I really liked the concept of brown power. I think you can really elaborate on that. That was good. And then with the UPS slogan, like, what has Brown done for you? I thought you could tag that with we built all of this. So I don't know. That was all I had, but it was really good.
Yeah, the brown power stuff for sure. There's just so much good stuff there.
Yeah.
So, sure. Josh, do you have anything?
Yeah, actually going into the brown power is the one of instead of saying, well, we wouldn't be our protest wouldn't be in front of the Capitol building, they'd be in front of the Home Depot. And then with like the landing strip, I would go into like the natural and be like, no one wants to land in the bush or nobody wants to land in the field. You can't find where it's at.
Yeah. Or with me, it's more like a crash landing.
Right. There you go.
The vegetation is too big.
Yes.
And then with the autistic rocker, instead of saying like the rock is I like that one, but as either a tie more or is instead of having a tour bus, that one had a short bus.
Boy.
I ride the short bus, so I'm allowed to make fun of us.
I rode the short bus.
Yep. Hey, in college, we didn't want to join a fraternity, so we made SBC, and we were just the short bus crew. That was our fraternity.
Golly.
All right.
My God.
Very cool. Andre, you have any response?
Yeah. So I actually, and it was the same. It was with the landing strip joke, and there was also with like the bass player. I kind of, and this is maybe selfish or something, but from a performer's perspective, but I kind of wanted like one more line, bringing it back to you or something around like with all like that kind of in cap like that, because you're doing a really good job of like in do kind of like with your consolidation of words, like conceptualizing like their character in all of the musical instrument comparisons, and also with like the landing strips, and maybe it's just my joke writing pattern, but I was just kind of almost just wanting like one more line to bring it back to you in all in those things where you're like kind of you're laying the groundwork for like the self-deprecation, and then like one more to kind of crystallize it. But again, it could just be like my writing style. I don't know.
Well, I used to have like an add-on to the bass player joke, and no one really liked it. I did it many times. I said he wasn't high strung, but he was a low life. Nobody seemed to appreciate.
That's funny.
I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But like, he was a piece of shit, man. We were supposed to go on a date, and then he just like stood me up, and then he like I'm like, where are you? And he's like, oh, I'm working late, and I'm like, that's code for cheating. And then out of the blue, he texts me. It's code for cheating, saying I got to work late. You know, after you didn't show up, all of a sudden you have to work late. I mean, come on. And then he texted me, and he's like, yeah, so I want to be your friend, but I'm not interested in you romantically. So I want to be your friend, but I'm not interested in you romantically. It's because, like, I was very naive, and on our first date, he wanted to Netflix and chill, and I, at the time, did not know what that actually meant. So I thought we were just going to have dinner and watch movies.
Oh.
But had dinner and we watched a few shows, and then he's like, the bedroom's right there, and I'm like, what? I gotta go.
So, Alia, just to add on
Learned
to
the hard
your
way about Netflix and chill. I didn't know. I'd never heard of it before.
Okay,
I was
Alia,
like, really? You want me to sleep with you from a sad little piece of fish and some frozen vegetables that came out of a bag? Do better.
Alia, back to that joke. You know, for the, you know, he was high strung, but he was a dirtbag or whatever. You could add like the rhythm guitarist or the lead guitarist kind of thing, like, you know, as a third band member. So as your tag. So you know, I dated the lead guitarist. He wasn't high strung, but he was a low life or whatever. Just add it on to your band.
Well, yeah, I like the idea that kind of throughout all of this, like you could put together a full band, like a 5-piece band, maybe even add a horn section if you know, feeling adventurous.
If all your exes met, it'd be
The band of misfits.
Yeah.
It's actually the band, the Misfits.
The X's.
Yeah.
Alia's restraining orders. It's just list of your restraining orders.
All right. Any other responses for Alia? All right. I'm going to go ahead and just switch this out. Alia, where can we find you online? Do you have any like online shows or in-person shows coming up?
I actually don't have anything coming up, but I'm going to put a podcast I'm on. It's called Funny Gals on the Prowl. And it's on NWCZ radio. My character is called Savannah from Georgia. And I'm a redneck news reporter. So what I do is I take real life news stories and I do commentary on them, and we do one-liners, and it's a lot of fun. So I posted that in the chat, so you can find me there. Yeah, I'm Savannah from Georgia. And on Twitter, which I don't use very often, but I have it. It's at GA Comedy. And then I also have at Elite Pet Sitting, but I don't really use that much either. I feel.
Right. I don't know what happened there. I think it was their internet. Since we're back to Josh, where can we find you online?
So, first one, more details coming, but March 7th at Legends Comedy Club in Raytown here in Kansas City, I have a show we're doing for MS Awareness Month. And then you follow me, look me up anywhere at Storytime with Lynch. Facebook is where mainly I post everything, but it is on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. So
okay.
Storytime with Lynch.
Nice.
Storytime with Lynch. Okay. We're going to get Alia back, but I just want to say that in the comments, Victoria, one of our hosts, she said about your vomiting on the president joke, that's what you call a biological weapon. You have people watching. All right. Very cool. All right. Alia, we got you. Just make sure everyone put it in the Facebook chat, all your information, and that will actually be posted on Facebook too. So we'll be able to get, links to your podcast and all that stuff. So we'll put that in the chat when it's uploaded to Facebook permanently. So very good. Okay, Andre. We're gonna come in hot with Andre. Just do your own material, just a little 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So anyone who says that they wouldn't wish that on their worst enemy hasn't chased down a tow truck. Yeah, I got my car towed the other day. It's kind of my fault. I have bad knees and bad timing on my alarm. But I caught the guy as he was driving away with the car, and I was pressing my alarm button, and I could tell that he heard me because he sped up. But I did actually manage to catch him at a red light because spite apparently gives you superpowers. Yeah, it's like a mother saving her child under dragging her child out from under a car. It's hate or love. They're very either way. The timing on this, I'm terrible at Zoom. So yeah. Anyways, God damn it. All right. Where was I? Caught him at the red light, and so I banged on his door, and I got him to hop out of the car, and hop he did because he had one leg. Yeah, and it just made me think every single thought that I had on the way to catching the truck. I was like, man, maybe I'm a genie or something. Like this is too close to reality. I tried to get him to feel some empathy for me. I was like, look, I was running late because I have bad knees. So you know how I feel. He was like, no, man. He was like, I got one leg. I show up to work every day. You can do it. I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, he's not wrong, by the way. I was just thinking, this should be the penalty for any tow truck driver. Just that's automatically the penalty. If I have to go around without my car for one day, you have to go around without a leg for the rest of your life. So anyways, yeah, just to give you some background on the mustache, my dad's Arab, my mom's a Latina, and I'm angry. That's how it works. Yeah, it's a bad cocktail. It's kind of like a Long Island iced tea. It's just every emotion in one glass and a dash of Coke. Yeah, it's, like sometimes like a negative times a negative equals a positive. Like sometimes a negative times a negative punches holes in drywall. It's I have been trying to get a hold of it though. One of my friends gave me a technique. They'll write out all of their anger in an email to someone, but then they won't send the email. And I tried that, and I ended up in jail. So what I do now. What I do now is I'll write out an email or a text message, but on the person's phone number or email address, I'll just change one digit and then still send that. So somewhere in the world at around 7 a.m. Central Time, there's someone getting 2 paragraphs that start, listen, comma. Yeah,
So that reminds me of Tiger King. Like, listen up, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I was raised in the South, so despite being brown, I definitely have some redneck in me too, I think. And hence a solo cup, I guess. Like, speaking of anger, though, is like one of the things that drives me crazy, that makes me the angriest right now, is how everyone is blaming everything wrong in the world, specifically on white people. And it's just like, as a person of color, I think frankly, it's racist. Like, we fucked shit up too. What about us? What about our history? We colonized. The Middle East wasn't always Arabs. Oh shit, I forgot. That's a newer bit, and I forgot the back part of it. Oh crap. Whatever. Yeah, that's it. That's it for now. Well, actually, I can do one. How much time do I have left? I have one joke that I actually really did want to work on aside from the prompt that you gave me.
Okay, do the joke.
Okay.
And then we'll give you feedback. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. So a friend of mine got married this week, which is frankly the best time to do it is when we're all locked down. So I really appreciated that. I was watching the reception on Zoom. Which is a lie. I was watching The Godfather, but I had the reception on Zoom somewhere in my apartment. And I heard randomly in between gunshots and Italian slurs being thrown around my apartment. I heard him make reference to his wedding and say, and to his new wife, that this new union was against all odds. And I was like, how did he know we were betting? I thought we were keeping it quiet. This is actually, I feel like it's a rigged game now. Like that, I bet against the market. Seems like an inside job now, really. I didn't know. It's just strange to me too that they try to fetishize their relationship and try to make it seem like it's something so unique without remembering that everyone pretty much finds someone. Most people get married. Most people get divorced. Most people find two people. Like marriage is just like a job, you know? You don't leave one until you have another one lined up. You know, I just think it's interesting. I just think it's interesting that they've made the wedding ceremony itself like that it was the goal. Like the next 60 years aren't actually going to be a kickoff return with a bunch of guys flying at your face trying to derail your plans.
All right.
That's it. Yeah,
Is there more? Okay. Thank you. Andre, I put you a little bit on the spot there, but that's all right.
Oh no. Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't know I was going to be able to do an actual set. So thank you for that.
All right. I liked how it was on, the reception was on somewhere in the apartment.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. You were saying you bet against the market, and then you were like, it's almost like a rigged game, or like maybe also insider trading.
Yeah, thank you. I kind of added those in just with all the GameStop stuff in this week. I'm curious to see if it is seeped out into the general thing to whether or not those work. But yeah, so because I just learned those words, so. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, Chase, you got any response?
Yeah, I thought it was good. A lot of really good punches, especially at the beginning with the chasing after the tow truck. I liked the comparison of hate and love are the same energy. Like that was good. About the wedding part, when you're talking about how most people find the one, you know, and then you say most people find another one. I thought it'd be funny if you just worded it like most people find two the ones.
Oh yeah. Excellent. Yeah, that's a good note.
But that was all I had. Everything was really good, solid and punchy. I like it.
Thank you. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right, Joshua.
So I don't have much notes, but I say when you come up and like first say you notice him without a leg, it's like I walked up thinking I was going to an ass kicking, not going to an IHOP.
Nice. I like that.
The second is when you're talking about like because you say you're watching like The Godfather. I was you're getting to like the talking almost about like the betting. Say then the runaway bride turned on because I was just hoping there was still time she'd run.
Oh yeah. Tie in the movies, whatever's going on with the movies with what's going on.
Like just say the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Oh man, that's a great note. Thank you.
Yeah, or you could do like a specific scene from that movie, like corresponds with the wedding. You could even throw in like a bad, like Brando impersonation if you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is the day of his daughter's wedding, so
Yeah.
I was just thinking. I wonder if there's like a one of those wish you can't turn down kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Offer
if
you
it
can't
was
refuse.
Skype, you have all the filters and say like you put a filter of The Godfather on there, and or you're talking like The Godfather in the chat, like kind of say like you're in Skype and you can do whatever you want on Skype.
Oh, you know what? And it just occurred to me since this is all, it comes at least from a real thing, from the Against All Odds thing. Since it's in the world of betting, I wondered too if maybe just take the reality out of the Godfather thing and maybe make it sports or something. That's also a thing where there's betting.
Mhm.
Yeah, maybe I could, and yeah, okay. Maybe I can work something with that. I like that. Thank you.
All right, Ollie, do you have any response?
I thought it was cool. I still thought it was cool. It's like, oh, cool. I never meet people that are also Hispanic Middle Eastern, so that's cool.
Yeah, I know.
I thought
I
it would
was
have
really
been cool
scared.
to hear, like, I always think it's really weird when people tell me, like, you date outside of your race. I'm like, well, pretty much everyone falls outside of my race, so yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's like everyone's outside of it
I
and
would like to
inside
hear
of it
more
at the same
jokes.
time.
I would like to hear more jokes about, like, you dealing with your culture and stuff like that. I think that would have been really cool to hear.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
Because there was a joke I cut out because actually it wasn't a really good joke, but someone stole it from me, so I just stopped using it. It's really a stupid joke, but it was talking about how, like, I used to have this friend, we're not friends anymore, and she was really racist, and when she found out my race, she's like, you ain't nothing but a wetback terrorist. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make any sense because the bombs won't detonate when they get wet.
That's good.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that is. I've gotten that. I note a few times where I don't talk about my own personal experience, and I'm trying to do that more slowly.
I think it would be a super extra funny if you talked about your dad and like stereotypes, like he's
It'd be
so
nice if I
cheap,
knew him, but
like he's so cheap, and say it like in a weird accent.
yeah.
My dad was cheap. My dad was so cheap that like our tire would be flat and he'd be driving us around to all these gas stations trying to find free air. And we'd be like, it's a quarter, just pay the quarter. But my favorite joke of all the jokes you said was how you were talking about how marriage is like a job. You don't get another one until you have another one lined up. I was like, that's killer.
Yeah. That was
my feedback.
one of your stronger jokes for sure. I think that was really good.
Thank you.
Even
yeah.
I think there you could even elaborate because it's like most people interview for their second job during their job.
Yeah.
You got to do the pre-interview process first.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you can talk about like how when you get married, you gotta like invite all her attractive friends. Because that'll be like setting up the pre-interview. You're like, yeah, well, if this doesn't work out, she's got 10 really hot.
Yeah.
You always got to network.
Yeah, like the wedding party's like a group interview or something.
Oh yeah. Ooh, I really like that. Oh, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna use that. Thank you. Wedding party.
Be like, did you see the way Stacy was looking at me? You better behave.
I wonder if he has good references or something like that.
Yeah, it's, I see here on your resume you didn't spend too much time at your last position. What happened there? There's issues with management. There's
a whole. I think you have a whole. You could do a lot right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. That's good stuff. All right.
Yeah, thank you all.
Yeah.
Very cool. Anything else for Andre's set? All right, for sure. Everybody follow each other. We all want to try to network and, spread out as far as we can. So again, put your stuff in the chat after the workshop, and we'll make sure everyone follows each
Where is
other.
everyone again? Sorry, I missed the beginning. Can we do a quick city thing?
I'm in Kansas City, obviously.
Oh, nice. I'm Chicago.
No.
I'm Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Oh, nice.
No,
Good one.
it's not.
No?
Bad one. It sucks.
But right, even now?
Yeah, especially now.
Uh,
All right, and I'm out of South Dakota.
Oh, sweet.
So,
You're there now? That's awesome. I want to go. One of my friends is doing traveling nursing and did like a stint there, and I was very, very, very envious of all the social media postings. It looks very pretty.
I'm gonna go that she was on the other side of the state. I'm in the farm area. The pretty area is west of us, so yeah, it's not great here.
Hey, but you can at least grow stuff there, which is valuable.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and just do my set real quick, and then we'll kind of do a little wrap up here. Thanks so much, you guys, for sticking around, hanging out. Yeah, so I have actually been back in my hometown for a couple years now, and realized that my favorite thing to do in my hometown is leave. So yeah, I live in the Midwest, and so I take a lot of road trips, and a fun game to play on my Midwest road trips is Find the Tree. And then you just eventually lose that game. I did only just get my car recently. And when I was approved for that auto loan, I was like, suckers. So gullible. Like, I'm going to pay that back. But yeah, it's a good car. It goes from 1 to 60 in 10 minutes. It's got fun amenities like heated seats, but the seats heat up so fast that I'm like, did I just pee my pants? And I did, but that was before I got in the car. Yeah. Before that, I didn't have my car for like 10 years, and partly because I had some run-ins with the law. Yeah, some people, they're speed demons. No, too tame for me, parking demon. Yep. When I was a child, I never colored inside the lines. So as an adult, I didn't park inside the lines either. I'm a shitty parker is what I'm trying to say. But I was also sort of an angry young lady, kind of had a chip on my shoulder. And I thought the best way to get back at society was to not pay my parking tickets. Damn the man, am I right? Yeah. Yeah, I knew that I was really sticking it to the man when I started getting boots on my car. I started to get jealous because my car had more boots than I did. And I really knew that I was making social change when my car got towed for the third time. And finally had to say to myself, I fought the law, and the law won. But since it's been so long since I've driven, I'm still a little nervous to get behind the wheel. So when you're out driving, look out. Don't feel safe. Because I'm on the road too. Honk, honk. All right, I did that. That was I don't know. That was kind of my set, you guys. If you guys have any response.
I like it.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
I like that you hammered the parking thing, it was that like took the extra step with the obvious punchline because it was like silly as fuck, and I just really like that.
Yeah.
Well, good. it's kind of like a shaky bit, like it sometimes gets laughs. So
I liked your car goes 0 to 60. You said in 10 minutes. That's funny. I thought maybe you could put, because I have a story about this, but you could do my car goes 0 to 60 eventually. Okay.
Eventually,
I say that because in my job, I work at a quick lube for a GM dealership. We have to take these tests to learn about new cars. They're trying to roll out all these electric vehicles. And one of the electric vehicles, when they give you all the specs, it literally says 0 to 60, and in parentheses, it says eventually. So
I'm going to go, it was an Equinox.
yeah. So
there's got to be someone on that does like the design team that's an open mic comic. That is too good.
Yes. Yeah. When I might have, I don't know. I thought I took a picture of it, but I'm not going to dig through my phone right now. But it was fucking hilarious. Taking that test, and I see that, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" But and the other thing I thought of, the idea of like being a rebel for something so mundane is hilarious. Like I know in this bit it's essentially just because of the parking thing, but I feel like there's a lot to that you can add to. So just different things that you did once the law won, and getting your car, getting all the boots, or getting it towed or whatever. What else did you move on to that was your rebellious phase? Ripping tags off of mattresses or whatever, or just throwing trash on the ground every once in a while. I don't know.
I'm a litter bug, and I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you put it. You sometimes you don't put it in the recycling hole. You put it just into the trash hole, even though it is recycling.
Take that.
And even though it's in the same receptacle and the holes are right next to each other, you still.
You do it on purpose. Yeah. Yeah, it was good stuff. That was a good set.
Yeah, that was tight. That
was good. I enjoyed it. My only comment really is with like the parking demon parts. I say kind of go in also what that means a little bit more of it. Be like, of how are you like a parking demon of it? Yeah, you get boots or tickets a lot, but also maybe you're a demon against people. Like you hit the cars all the time, but because you're a demon, I don't even leave the damn.
Oh yeah. I'll ding the car in front of me and not leave a note.
Yeah. Yeah.
Other things like that. Yeah. One time somebody left a note in my car, and it was like, you park like an asshole, because I park bad, like I'm a crooked parker, and like I got this note, and they're like, you park like an asshole. And I didn't know who left the note, and so I just wrote a note back, and I put it on the car that I thought it was. You could not have even been that car, like the person just coming out. I'm not an asshole.
You tried to match like what asshole car would match that behavior?
Well, I was like, who parks like who parked next to me, or like where would I think that they would have parked, that they would have like come over to leave the note. So it was just irritating. And yes, I left a note on a strange car.
I would have fed into it though, been like, yeah, I did park like an asshole. Be like, because you're the parking demon kind of thing. Be like, well, I took that post note and I made it a bumper sticker. I parked like an asshole.
That's funny. All right, very cool. Alia, any response at all?
I think my favorite part was when you said I fought the law and the law won, because I'm that friend who people start talking and I'll just start quoting a random song that has to do with what they're saying. And it always startles people. And I'm like, look, this is who I am. Take it or leave it. So yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't really understand what you meant when you're like, it's this game that you see a tree and then you don't see it anymore. Is it like there's nothing to see on the landscape but trees? Is that what you meant?
There's nothing to
I didn't get it. I was just making sure.
There's no trees.
That's a location-based joke, I think.
Good.
I got it.
I think the only thing that would have made it better is if, like you personified your car more, like you were jealous of your car and you gave your car a name. But me personally, I have to stop naming my cars because every car I name, I crash it. So my next car is not going to have a name. I got one car named Raphael, and he's been in like 5 wrecks, and I got one car named Javier, and he's in a wreck.
Well, no, you keep naming them Latin names. No wonder it's.
Well, they're red, so I thought it was fitting. You know, they're red. They're spicy.
Name your next car Ernest and see how that goes.
I can't do that to him.
Yeah, maybe just like Barbara. Name it Barbara and see how that treats it.
Yeah, because all men's names are trash, so you had to try a woman this time.
Yeah.
You got
my car is a woman. My car's name is Connie.
I'm Betty. Mine's Betty.
I was gonna on the boots joke that did give me an idea of like that. I mean, it's pretty punched up already, but if you even wanted to squeeze more out of it, of just like almost like purposefully dolling up your car and like kind of where the boots are high heels or something along those lines. It's like, well, if you can't, I like that idea where like the car had more. I don't know, maybe it's too cartoonish to take it that far down the road, but that was a good.
That just makes me think of those cars with eyelashes. And how people are like, oh, you think you've made bad decisions? People buy eyelashes for their cars. Someone was actually selling a car like that, and it had eyelashes on it. I'm like, man, it's $800 for a car that runs, but I just can't deal with those eyelashes.
Is that like the lady version of a like face tattoo or something, or?
Yes. Deal breaker. How do you even put them on? How do they stay on?
Are they press-ons or like what?
Like just the other day, this meme showed up in my feed, and it's like, hey, did you know in 1836 this woman invented false eyelashes? She was a hooker, and they were named cumbrellas because they were supposed to protect the hooker's eyes from cum. And I'm like, oh. No. I'll never look at eyelashes.
I feel like they would have come up with a more
on that note, I'm just gonna interrupt.
I'm just
gonna interrupt Alia. I'm just gonna interrupt. laughed. I love that cum story. Thank you so much. It's really funny. But yeah, we're almost out of time. It's almost 11. We've been here about an hour and 44 minutes. So I think we did a really great job tonight, you guys. I'm Alisha Rayne. You can find me on Instagram at Alisha Rayne. You can find me on Facebook. On Twitter, I'm at Alisha Rayne too. And then I'm online. I have a show next week called in 2 weeks, actually, it's the 21st. It's the Wish You Were Here comedy showcase. That'll be online. I am hosting that show and I am the producer, so that'll be good. Check that out. You can find that under my Facebook. And then everybody else kind of already said where they can be found. And then all that information will be with the stream as well. So very cool, you guys. Chase Bonin, Joshua Lynch, Alia, Andre, everybody, thank you so much. I had a great time. We're going to go ahead and say goodnight to all of our Facebook friends and have a good night.